Um, right now as they try to battle, and I mean, this at this point, there's never going to be a point where I'm also subscribe to the manipulation they do. Unfortunately, my brain is being manipulated by them, and they try to have this counter. I'm hearing people in the hallways. They obviously know that I see them for the pedophiles that they are, right? They want me to subscribe to these pedophilia things. And I open the door, and just as I hear this childlike people, they like to use children like people to kind of try to agitate you. But I'm here to help them figure out what's going on, figure out what they're part of. As I'm saying that, they're like, wait for it, we framed you, which is an indication of what kind of people they are, right? And they try to use agitating voice. They obviously have tendency to use pedophilia type of tormenting, but on top of that, like I said, there's many cherries on top of all the testimonies. These people are run by pedophiles, and with me specifically, they can't speak about a pedophile that used to pick up kids, right? I specifically say Roy Moore because they can't say his name. This is just for me to remind them that I know what they are, right? How bottom feeders they are. So when in the hallways, they, oh, our pedophiles, like, first of all, BuzzFeed, but can you say Roy Moore? And then they try to find a way to disorient you by saying, and then you'll die. Well, yes, I'll die, and then you'll die after working for pedophiles and do horrible things to people, including children and women. Right? And you're going to try to disorient me to let you live your fantasy, but it's impossible. And they're like, no, we proved it. You proved that you don't do pedophilia type of torture, you don't manipulate people's brain, and you don't torture children. Right? Or you prove that this is your money, and you guys can say Roy Moore, a pedophile that picked up kids. So, obviously, these people have done horrible things to women. They specialize in tormenting people in these pedophile ways and hurt them and torment them. And as I'm here, this child, like, people try to, like, leave their fantasy and help, and they're supposed to agitate me. They are annoyed at the fact that these people have been exposed by these articles saying these agencies are filled with pedophiles, and I know who put me in this program, and the reason why they can't say Roy Moore, this pedophile that picked up kids, is because my employer put me in this program. Now, with this being said, obviously the testimony has validated me that they force you to think in these pedophilia ways, but they try to counter it by trying to make me have these mental battles when they're just try to blame them for things they don't do. So when they do the pedophilia type of torture, it's like, no, it's you. You see, they are. There's proof. They are. These people who do the pedophilia type of torture, who tell me they're gonna frame me, right? Because that's proof. And that use child-like individuals. I've shown you some. I can show you even some more. You'll know looking at them that these people are not here investigating, but they are fucking sorry. They made me say that word. And this is proof. That's how they kind of force the speech in me. But they also doing these manipulations, right? And they use these child-like people that are contracted by the government. Now, right now, they're trying to agitate me because what I'm going to say is supposed to be blocked out. What I'm going to say is, for example, just 2 seconds ago, I'm tired. I'm on my bed. Fatigue. They've been draining me where they try to make me subscribe. This is a thing where they're supposed to make you, to push you to lose your mind. I'm so tired. I'm on my bed. I was supposed to be making my bed, but I'm just fatigued. I lay on my bed for a minute. Fatigued I am, laying on my bed. I'm scrolling down some pictures somebody sent me. And I'm looking at a picture, and I started having thoughts about this picture. Nothing pedophilia-centric, but just kind of like deep in a sense that just felt like it was just a little too much. But I don't care. I'm not paying too much attention to it. It's not, as long as it's not anything pedophilia-centric, disturbing, or degrading in any sort. I don't care. Regardless if they manipulate me to think this way, I don't care. This is not something I'm gonna be frustrated about. I move on to the next one, and then immediately they start like try to create a mental battle. Oh, was that your thoughts, or was that our thoughts? Right? Something of that nature. And I'm like, okay, this is not an extreme thought. It's not a thought that's just like, pedophilia-centric. It's not those obvious disturbing thoughts that they force me to have. It's something just kind of feel like it's just not really me. But it's not extreme of any sort. Right? So I'm like, it feels more like it's you guys pushing me. It just felt a little too deep. Like it was just too like deep in the sense that it's just like somebody was looking outside and looking away, and the way he was looking, he was like, it was just too like deep that me myself, if I was not in this program, I will not think that far, right? Nothing extreme. So that's why I'm leaning. Like, it's probably you guys pushing me to think like that, but it's nothing extreme. It's nothing too. It's nothing bad at all. And so they try to create this mental battle because what they want to do is to start blaming them for the things that they don't do. So when they do the preferred type of torture, they're like, you see, you blame us before, and now it was us, and now this happening, you try to blame us, right? The truth is, they do the preferred type of torture, and they find a way to gaslight you into doubting yourself that this is happening, that but because of them, right? It's pure mental battles, mental torment. So you have to understand, and you have people next door try to create some agitations and things of that nature, and you hear somebody say, "No, they are." This is all mental torture. They're trying to get you to accept these things. It's obvious. And me even explaining this, usually what will happen is, or they're going to torture you, they're going to castrate you, they're going to try to disorient you. This is how it goes. Very systematic. I'm not saying, I'm not a genius. I'm just saying the things they've done are obvious. At that point, you figure out what's going on. And then I'm trying to scroll back to the picture. But before I get to that same picture, I see a picture of somebody just about this exactly same picture. As you can hear the noise campaign, they tell me how I'm going to blow them and everything because I'm about to break down how they're doing this thing to me. So before I scroll to the next picture, I see one picture that looks very similar to the other one, but there's one thing different. The person is not looking the same way. There's one person on the background that doesn't look exactly the same. And because at that point, my brain, I'm just tired. I'm laying on my bed, fatigued, don't have the energy to just like really have this battle. So I kind of let myself go a little bit. And they're like, oh my gosh, you see, it made me think that, oh my, it made me think, look at this person. That picture look different. Did you guys make me perceive this picture differently? At that point, I'm just too fatigued. But the reality is, it was not exactly the same picture. The other picture was like a few swipe after. And so there's like, you see, you're gonna blame us. There's a perception. The reality is just, I knew they were pushing me to find a way to blame them on something they didn't do, so they can come back and say the police type of torture. We're just investigating. And mind you, when you're fatigued, that's when they can just take more advantage of that moment because you're not gonna fight. It's like no, 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 no. Let me go to the next pictures before we go there. But when you don't have when you don't have the energy for that, so you just let yourself go. And once you let yourself go, they just control more and want you to have these battles. And so now they're like coming up. Oh, they are. You see, this is how they do. Target individuals, I know what I said is hard to understand, but there's a lot of manipulation in order for you to accept these obvious manipulations. It's called gaslighting. It's trying to make you doubtful for the obvious manipulation they do. When you're fatigued or tired and you let yourself, now the new tactics are this. They want you to start blaming them for certain things that they don't do. So when they do the obvious pedophilia type of torture, you're like, oh, last time, remember you look at the picture, you thought it was us manipulating, but you just didn't, you look at the wrong picture, that's why you thought. So this pedophilia thing, the way you see these pictures of whatever, the way you look at these children, is the way you're perceiving these children with these pedophilia things. The pedophilia ways of perceiving these children, it's natural. Because remember last time when you thought that picture was the same picture and you thought they were mess, this is how they play with you. And you have people next door and around trying to get you to accept it. They're like, oh, they in agitating ways. In ways that are just supposed to annoy you, to push you to that point of annoyance where you just want to, you're just tired. But don't subscribe to that. It's all the same thing. Every time they're going to try to find ways to make you feel doubtful. Let me say this to all my target individuals. They manipulate you to look at things in this nasty, perverse ways. This is what they do. It'll never be you. It will never happen. It will never happen if it was your natural. You are forced to perceive, react, and even think in these disturbing ways because they are forcing your thoughts to think this way. Then you have perps who are supposed to make you subscribe to these manipulations, saying, no, it's you. And then they try to disorient me. In my case, the way they disorient me is to tell me, oh, you're going to be framed, as if this is not like more validation for you. But let's not even go there. And then talk about you're going to get castrated. You're going to be tortured. You're going to be knocked out. This is all tactics to disorient you from the obvious illogical, and manipulations of how they want you to subscribe to these pedophilia things. It's called psychological warfare. They really are trying to break you down into accepting these things. They're just bottom feeders trash that work for the government that are supposed to make you accept these things. And then 2 seconds ago, I heard this person, because somebody died, this star died, and she was talking about her in high school. And they started to stimulate me. And you hear this trash, this childlike individuals who work for pedophiles, who say, oh, you're a pedophile. Awkward. Awkward. Very awkward. Because they work for pedophiles. They do the pedophile type of torture. They torture children sexually. They are the trash. They even use child people to train them to do these things to even women and children. And try to escape into their fantasy in a theater, which I pray God to give me strength, because that theater they're gonna create for themselves to live that fantasy is gonna be extreme. And I gotta be strong, because they're gonna do whatever is possible for me to subscribe to it. So to all my target individuals, whatever mental battle they try to create to make you be doubtful of this of these obvious manipulations of how you perceive this kids or whatever it is they do to you specifically, do not subscribe. They're gonna do everything possible. Everything possible. Now my mind at this point is gone. This is why I record what I'm saying and put this on YouTube, because I know in my mind is gone. I'm hearing a childlike person who knows how, just like the logic of a thumb, who's gonna be satisfied by the fact that my brain is there manipulated. You understand? My brain is completely so obviously if this person can be like, oh my god, yeah, you will read. It shows how your brain is no longer yours. It just has gone to a level of illogicalness. And she knows this. But do not subscribe to these nonsensical things. There's no winning or losing. It's just knowing that these people are going to manipulate you in different ways and going to have people all around you to try to make you subscribe to this. Do never subscribe to these things. And stay strong. Know that these pedophilia things, whatever, or torment, or thoughts that are so perverse or disturbing or even just bizarre, are coming from them. Nobody's perfect, but you know yourself. And you know that there's certain things that you will never, ever, ever, ever perceive, think in those ways. Even though they in it, they are forced you to think in that way.